Walk and Talk, episode 2, my friends. Leadership, following, assuming the leadership role, all of that shebang. Let's go. I'm pretty amped up about this. The scenery, full moon over there. Oh. It's also quite late at night and scared shitless of wild boars right now. But hey, walk and talk. So leadership and looking for people to lead us. So we're all kind of dependent on certain people leading us at certain times, right? But there's a moment in there's a moment in every man's life. You get what I mean? There's a moment in all of our moments where we also need to assume leadership. And the beautiful thing is that even though we need leaders in our life to show us the way, and we're always looking for angles to catch off of them, like, ooh, how does he do this? Or how does she approach this part of life? The truth is that we're all the best at leading our own path, and we're all the best at leading something in the life. At least relative to another person, we're all helpful leaders. So it's really about assuming the responsibility that each of us can lead something. Each of us can lead one step of the way. I was thinking about this because I rely a lot on, there's this dynamic inside of me, which is I look for people to lead me. I look for like these, alpha dudes who are like stronger than me, bigger than me. It's just like I'm a younger brother, so I look for that older brother figure and to help me, lead me. But in my mind, it's like I can't explore and figure out things without that, and that's okay. That's part of my experience, and that's okay. But it's also true that while I'm developing in the background of other people, while I'm being led, it's important for me to also lead. Now, that's the reason why is that even the greatest of leaders, even the people that are leading me, rely on being led. And that's a really powerful thing, which if you let it sit, it just hits me really, really hard, because it's like I'm putting so many expectations on certain people. It can be your father, it can be your mother, it can be older brother figure, which, you have your interests and you're kind of aligned. Wow. Or it can be God in the sky. It doesn't matter, whatever it is, but you're putting pressure on these people, right? As we put this pressure, we forget that they're just humans, right? And they also need our support. So what I'd like to just encourage is to find moments where maybe you have some people who you rely on to be led, and maybe you too can take the rudder at the end of the sailing boat sometimes and be like, hey, I can lead some things too. And I know that you too rely on leadership, on people leading you, because no one can always be leading. No one can always be leading without the support and without the help of others also leading them. And that's exactly why we need you to lead us. Lead us, be led, and then lead again. And in that way, we can actually grab hands and spin each other higher and higher, propelling ourselves up. Now, in my struggle with this, or in my dealing with this, two important things. And that's the last thing which I'm touching on. Number one is that it's not a struggle, it's a game. Play with it, play with assuming leadership, play with being led and leading. There are beautiful ways that you can learn this, that you can practice this, but most importantly, it's to find something which interests you. So for me, for example, there's breathwork and there's movement and there's the YouTube game and all these things and sharing my voice. And in that, I find people like my good friend Josh Hash, who is a leader, assumes a leadership role for me in my mind. And that's beautiful. And then you create a friendship, and maybe there's things that I can help him with, and that's how you spin yourselves higher and higher together, bouncing off of each other's strengths and supporting each other in your weaknesses. Now that can be with someone who's a mentor to you or a friend of yours, or it can be with family, it does not matter. But make it a play, make it a game. Don't be so hard on yourself. You don't need to always stick in or get caught in one of the roles. Now, number two, as said person who I have a lot of love for, really, like in the last few years, has been such a clear voice in my head, a voice of guidance. So check his stuff out, honestly. And what he beautifully put is that lead with love. Now, what I love so much about that is that when you're up there at the front of the ship, harnessing the power of lightning, coming down on you, and everyone, we're all in the same boat rowing, but sometimes you're the one at the front making the decisions, leading. Where do we go with this? Now, when you're at the front, sometimes it feels lonely. Now, that's perfectly normal. And when it feels lonely, I think the only option that we have is to lead with love. Now, what that means to me is that even though you feel alone, you have that connection, that knowing that Yes, my 2 feet are planted right now at the front and I can't look back too much right now. I need to assume this role of leadership and keep my eyes open on the road ahead or behind, road ahead. But I have love. Love is a feeling and it guides us. So lead us with love, be led by people who lead with love, and then lead again with love. And that is the beautiful positive feedback loop, that positive spiral upwards with which we elevate each other and with which we support each other on this beautiful journey. Now, don't doubt that you are the most capable person at leading something in this world. Don't doubt it. And it doesn't have to be big things. You don't have to have a big business. It can just be leading the day into a beautiful moment, catching the conversation when it goes into, chatting about other people, talking behind people's backs, and you just kind of elevate that moment of being like, let's not go there, right? Let's not go there. We know better than this. Let's go here. And that's where you assume the leadership role, and you need to learn to play with the ropes. But don't doubt that you are the most capable person at leading the path when it's your turn and the light falls on you. Much love, guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Love y'all. Okay, where's my car?